Hi, I'm Sabrina Register, Comcast Neighborhoods. Welcome to Kent, a city that boasts a booming industrial area. In fact, it's one of the largest in the country. Well-known companies like REI and Oberto Sausage have headquarters here, but there's a lot more to Kent than warehouses and factories. There's a thriving arts community. There's also a farmer's market. After all, Kent used to be lettuce capital of the world. There's even a hydroplane museum. Join us as we explore Kent. Kent enjoys an interesting mix of past and present, blending its farming heritage with today's business landscape. It's a city of produce and progress, dairy and development. Only fitting Kent got its start and its name from a plant.
Hops were a big cash crop in the area. Many of the big landowners of this area wanted their areas to be named after their family. Henry Yesler wanted it to be the town of Yesler, and James Titus wanted the area to be Titusville. Anyway, it was either the railroad or the post office that finally said you need to come up with one name for this town. So many of the big landowners came together and in 1890 came up with the name of Kent after Kent County, England, which was also a hops growing region.
But hops production tapped out after only 2 years. An insect infestation wiped out the burgeoning industry. Kent turned to dairy and produce as sources of income, and eventually lettuce won out. In the 1920s, the city billed itself as lettuce capital of the world and celebrated its success with a festival every summer.
What would happen is they would choose a queen and a court and have a big celebration downtown, and with that celebration, the queen and her court would stand in a large vat of chopped lettuce, and with hip waiters, boots, and pitchforks and shovels, they would mix a giant salad and serve the salad to the crowd.
Historical photos of Kent, along with documents, artifacts, and furnishings, can be found at the Historical Museum. The building itself is noteworthy. Prominent business owner and one-time mayor Emil Breiter built the home in 1908. About the time Kent was becoming known for its lettuce, a man by the name of Constantine Oberto started a business selling Italian meat products in the Seattle area. His teenaged son, Art, took over the company in the 1940s and grew it to what it is today, Oberto Sausage Company. The company has 2 other brands, Pacific Gold, which is sold in California, and Lawry's. But Oberto is the name everybody knows, and jerky is the meat snack fans crave.
Original beef jerky is our favorite. We make different kinds of original, whether it's a hung product or a screen product, and everybody has their favorite.
John took us on a tour to give us a taste of what's involved in making their popular product. As you might have guessed, they start with a whole lot of beef. So John, what's happening here?
Right here, we're taking the beef round and we're slicing it up into slices that will get marinated and cooked.
How much beef would you say goes through here a day?
We go through about 50,000 pounds a day.
Wow, that's a lot of beef. After the slicing comes the seasoning and marinating.
So in this step, we've added all the spices to it, and we basically just crumble it up and mix it in. Just crumbles for about 6 minutes, and then we put it in these big tubs, and then it sits in these tubs for a couple days.
After smoking and drying the meat, an army of workers packages the tasty treats to be trucked to a store near you. When they're not busy coming up with new products to tempt and tantalize customers, the Oberto family devotes time and energy to its baby, the Oberto Hydro Race Boat.
It came to be with the family. It's a hobby that turned into really a business and a marketing tool for the company. Larry Oberto heads that up for us, active in the boats, the sponsorship. Really turned it probably from more of a gimmick into a true contender and a national champion.
Our next stop in Kent, the Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum.
Well, hydroplane racing is a huge part of this community's history. Racing started here on a professional level in 1950, and at that time it was really the only professional sport in town. And it had a huge, huge following. At a time when the population of King County was about 600,000 people, we would often draw 500,000 people to the hydroplane races. And if you look at this region's history and you look at the World's Fair, the Space Needle, the Kingdome, Seahawk Sonics, that all started with hydroplane racing.
If you're a raceboat lover, this is the place to come, to reminisce, to learn, or just to appreciate.
Well, we have, in our collection, we have 16 unlimited hydroplanes. We only have space here to have 8 or 9 of them on display at any given time. So we're constantly changing. But you'll come in, you'll see raceboats that span the decades from the 40s all the way up to the 2000s. You'll see trophies, you'll see uniforms. We have lots of memorabilia, pins and buttons and models. Lots of films and videos, books. If it has anything to do with boat racing, you'll find it here.
And there's a new girl in town that enthusiasts will want to see up close. The museum has on display until May the Miss Wahoo. She's a replica of the one Bill Boeing owned until the mid-1960s, when it was destroyed. At the request of Mr. Boeing, dozens of museum volunteers painstakingly built her from scratch in just 10 months. Unlike other museums, the historical pieces in this one are not only admired, but taken out and tested on Lake Washington, Lake Chelan, and Lake Coeur d'Alene.
We want people to understand how and why these boats work, how the motors are built.
Who knew education could be so thrilling?